Now, talking about overseas, I've got to bring you this story from the UK because it is insane. It just shows you how crazy this lockdown mentality can get. An 82-year-old grandmother has been given a police warning because she had a socially distanced cup of tea with her neighbours in their communal garden. I mean, can you believe this? Officers turned up at the pensioner's home to question her about the incident, and she was reported for drinking tea outside with her neighbours in breach of coronavirus lockdown restrictions. This is just madness, Nick. The UK's lockdown strategy, it's been among the strictest in the world and the longest, and it's been an utter failure. The UK has a per capita death rate that's higher than the US and much higher than, say, Sweden, where they've never locked down.
Look, I agree with you that the UK's response to COVID-19 has been nothing short of shambolic and hopeless. And yes, you're right.
But you love lockdowns.
I will make the point that the UK does seem to be doing better than most in terms of vaccinations. So maybe they'll redeem themselves there. But Rita, you're the one who's always lecturing me on, you know, the law needs to apply equally to everyone. But tonight you seem to be saying that grandmas should be exempt from the law, that grandmas shouldn't have to be subject to the same restrictions as the rest of us when it comes to COVID. Yeah, but the point there was she was having a cup of tea with a bunch of other people who weren't in her household, and that was in breach of the UK restrictions. I'm not saying I don't have a lot of sympathy for the lady, and I'm not saying that lockdowns.
Pull her away.
You're being ridiculous, Rita.
She's in a communal garden. She doesn't have the, you know, she's not as lucky as you to have her own house with its own garden. So she lives in a flat. So all the flats share a communal. Well, I'm just saying you're a privileged man. That's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of. So she lives in a flat. So they share a communal garden. They wanted to get some fresh air, have a cup of tea, have some company after months of being locked away. They were socially distanced. They weren't cuddling next to each other. And yet some miserable so-and-so has seen that and called the cops, and the cops have actually come and given a warning. I mean, are we in crazy world now? Is this what's considered sane, to be lecturing 82-year-olds who, let's be honest, don't have that long? They probably want to get some pleasure out of life, want to get some company rather than being locked away for the last months without any human contact.
Well, look, I'm not saying I don't have sympathy for the 82-year-old grandmas out there. I very much do, but there's got to be one rule for all. I am particularly pleased, though, Rita, to see that in this case, the police did exercise a little bit of discretion and just issued a warning to the lady. So there was no fine or
just a warning.
Like issued it with a warning. A slap over the wrist, I think, would be the technical term. And look, it's probably a lesson to all those other Brits who are stuck in a miserable lockdown at the moment, that if they all stick with the plan, they can hopefully open up soon and get their freedoms back. But of course, you can see what happens when you don't properly
outdoors
comply
having
with
a cup of tea. Come on. No one's getting COVID actually being outdoors, having a cup of tea, socially distanced from their neighbours. But, you know, on a serious note, Nick, you're involved with Movember. You know how crucial mental health is to people's well-being. And you know how these lockdowns can be devastating in isolating people. So surely there should be no provisions that make this a police matter or in any way illegal. If people want to get together and have a cup of tea outdoors, then they shouldn't be fearing a visit from the police.
Yeah, so you're right. The mental impact of COVID and the lockdown and the social isolation has been absolutely horrendous. And I've got a lot of sympathy in this case, and I'm glad that the police exercised the discretion. And yes, the person, the dibber-dobber who went to the police on something like that, you know, you do wonder about what sort of person they